hit it, but it's
What? Why can't you? 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 Why can't you?
A heater.
I like this. Why can't you?
I feel like I was missing there from the intro. Is that the headliner's intro? That's right.
yeah, yeah. You're in the outro though, Ollie. You're in the end credits.
A heater.
The heater. Hi and welcome to a show that I'm calling This Might As Well Happen. Because today,
How you doing, team?
July 3rd, 2025, Congress decided to fuck over America.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yay. And just a little like a little topping on this fuckovery. We're gonna talk briefly about the incompetence of the people in Congress. And I have a video just for that. If I can, there we go. That's Mikey's thing. I don't know why his thing is always up here at the stage. There we go.
Don't be casting aspersions.
Aspersions have been cast.
Stay over there.
What are
Fettuccine,
aspersions? What?
linguine, martini, bikini.
Those were the words spoken on the floor.
Wait, there we go.
It has a mistake in it. Those were the words spoken on the floor of the House of Representatives today at 11:10 a.m. that shocked every Republican member of the House of Representatives. They all know that the real leading expert on House rules is Democrat Jim McGovern, the Democratic leader of the House Rules
Ain't never heard of him, but sure.
I know Jim McGovern.
Committee.
You know Jim McGovern?
He's been around for a while.
I've heard the name. Nothing populates in the brain.
He's not cool.
No, apparently he's a rules lawyer. So
They know that the Republican
like Ollie.
chair
What?
of the House Rules Committee, Virginia Fox, is completely and permanently incompetent, always has been, always will be, as is her staff. And so the way in over his head, Republican Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, learned from Democrat Jim McGovern on the floor today, 11:10 a.m., that what Speaker Johnson brought to the floor of the House to vote on had a mistake in it. Unlike the Senate, the House of Representatives they have a vote that creates a rule for each piece of legislation that passes through the House of Representatives. And it's a different rule for each one. They all have very similar elements. In the Senate, there are the standing rules of the Senate. They're written down and they don't change.
Yo, this is why we need one fucking House of Congress. Why are they fucking why does everyone have to have different rules? Just follow the same rules, guys.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But the House Rules Committee, controlled by the party in power, literally writes a rule that is the guideline for
I was muted.
Oh,
Oh.
don't do that.
how that particular bill will be handled on the floor of the House of Representatives. And that rule always says, for example, that there will be no amendments allowed on the House floor. That's why you only see amendments on the Senate floor, never on the House floor. But the incompetent Republicans did such a bad job of writing that very simple one-paragraph rule that Jim McGovern stopped everything in the House of Representatives today by announcing to the House, it has a mistake in it. We've never seen anything like that in the House of Representatives, nothing that stupid in the House of Representatives. And for the next 11 hours, the Republican House of Representatives was paralyzed by that Republican mistake. Usually in the House of Representatives, No one in the Republican Party ever listens to anything anyone in the Democratic Party says on the House floor. But this time, the whole House heard what Congressman Jim McGovern said when he started a drama like we have never seen before in the House of Representatives with these words.
I want to alert all members to something about this rule. It has a mistake in it. Republicans have rushed this process from the very beginning to meet Trump's artificial July 4th deadline, and this rule is no exception. We found an error in the rule at 2 a.m. this morning after the Rules Committee reported the rule.
By reporting,
I've never heard someone say the word rule so much.
I know.
This rules.
The rule of the rule is rule.
Next thing I'll have a ruler and he'll be wrapping your fingers to it.
O'Doyle rules.
the Republicans on the
O'Doyle.
Rules Committee
O'Doyle rules.
voted for the rule and sent the rule to the floor of the House for a vote by the House. And here is the mistake.
This is going to sound a little in the weeds, but they forgot to do something called considering the previous question as ordered on their big ugly bill. Now, let me put that in English. What that means is they won't have an escape hatch once they start debate on this bill. So if they started and they realize they don't have the votes, they still have to take the embarrassing vote.
And that was shocking news to the dazed and confused Speaker, Mike Johnson, who will never know half as much as Jim McGovern knows about how the House of Representatives.
It's already half the size.
And when Jim McGovern said that, we now know the Republicans did not have the votes. Mike Johnson didn't have the votes to pass his rule or his bill. Donald Trump didn't have the votes in the House of Representatives to pass his bill. And so there was panic in the Republican House and in the Trump White House.
Now, I expect they'll try to fix this with an amendment, but I have a question for members. If this Republican leadership cannot get a one-paragraph rule right, can we really trust them to get a 870-page bill right? Not only are we going to find things that were snuck into this bill, we're going to find massive mistakes that have unintended consequences for people and industries in this country. This whole process has been lousy, and this rule is no exception.
And
Can you
then-
pause it real quick? Imagine trying to pass legislation that's 900 plus pages and no one's read it.
Yeah.
None of them have read it.
Yeah, they got no idea.
Imagine.
I mean, some of the Republican members have even said as much. Marjorie Taylor Greene said that she didn't know about that AI provision, not allowing states to do anything about it.
And for all of you who tried to tell me to calm down about AI, suck my fucking dick. How's that sound? Fucking told you. If fucking Trump is letting AI run wild for 10 years unimpeded, and I'm the one overreacting, you guys are Nazi apologists at this point.
This is not going to be the nice show.
I'm not in a good mood, so
it's not. If you saw the end of today's earlier show, this is not going to be nice. I said fuck God earlier, so
you sure did.
You
can only imagine where this is going.
The opening that Jim McGovern identified for the House one by one, the Democrats used their right to go to the microphone and ask for an amendment to protect Medicaid and the Nutrition Assistance Program, and the Republicans blocked every single attempt on the House floor today to save Medicaid.
When he says today, he means yesterday. This all happened yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
And save the Nutrition Assistance Program that feeds poor children and poor families everywhere in this country, in every one of those House members' districts. And then Jim McGovern said this.
Mr. Speaker, over 100 Democratic members just asked to allow an amendment to protect Medicaid and SNAP, just to give us a vote. That's all we ask. And I will say we are here standing up for the American people, no matter where they live. And this is what it looks like to fight for the American people, to make sure that this administration and this Republican Congress doesn't rip away their health care and their food benefits. That is disgusting. And the gentlewoman from North Carolina's district alone, 142,000 of her constituents would lose some or all of their SNAP benefits. And 5 rural hospitals are at risk of closure. We're here to help people, not to screw them over.
New York
Positive.
Congresswoman Alexandra.
Maybe we should start. Maybe I'll start a post-it note full of predictions. Get ready for theft to be through the roof,
Oh yeah.
because people are not going to be able to afford shit, and they're just going to have to take it. Because they're not going to go hungry; they're going to steal. So
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
no one's
They're
going to just
either
like,
gonna steal-
oh, if only the
Yeah.
rules were different, I would feed my kids. No, they're going to feed them kids.
Yeah, and they won't just be stealing food; they'll be stealing whatever they can sell for whatever they need to get it. Right?
Hope y'all
So,
didn't like the catalytic converters on your car.
Yeah. So
Don't leave anything on the front porch. That bitch is
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
Gone.
Ocasio-Cortez
Bring on the
said
crime.
this.
President Trump had issued some statements throughout this process saying and
Ollie,
urging
avert your eyes.
that this bill does not cut Medicaid. He's also said some things, he says he doesn't think I'm too much of a smart person. And I'll tell you one thing. It doesn't take a smart person to know if you're being lied to. President Trump, you're either being lied to or you are lying to the American people. Because this bill represents, in the text of this bill, the largest and greatest loss of healthcare in American history. 17 million Americans will lose their healthcare on this bill, not undocumented people, not quote unquote the disgusting term illegal, but 17 million Americans will have their healthcare cut from this bill. On this point of tax on tips, as one of the only people in this body who has lived off of tips, I want to tell you a little bit about the scam of that text, a little bit of the fine print there. The cap on that is $25,000.
Gotcha,
you're
dumbasses.
up taxes on
Yep.
people who make less than $50,000 across the United States, while taking away their SNAP, while taking away their Medicaid, while kicking them off of the ACA and their health care extensions. So if you're at home and you're living off tips, you do the math. Is that worth it to you? Losing all your health care, not able to feed your babies, not being able to put a diaper on their bottom in exchange for what? This bill is a deal with the devil. It explodes our national debt. It militarizes our entire economy, and it strips away healthcare and basic dignity of the American people. For what? To give Elon Musk a tax break and billionaires the greedy taking of our nation. We cannot stand for it, and we will not support it. You should be ashamed.
AOC, speaking the truth.
yeah,
Dude,
there's scary shit going on south of the border.
Mm-hmm.
I'm worried for all of my friends.
oh, you mean south of your border?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
South of my border. That's where you are. You're south of the border, guys.
I forgot.
I don't
I
think
forgot we're south of the wall.
Yeah.
He's not like, oh man, it's crazy south of my border in Brazil. No, he's talking about us.
Yeah. So
I forgot Ollie's a wildling.
Yes. I still think they should have their own show.
did you know that all the immortal Highlanders were foundlings? All of them? Did you know that? No? Okay.
I did not. So that's it for the Lawrence clip. That's all I wanted to show, because he just rambles on after that. But the Republicans were too inept, and that's why they had a fucking vote that went on for 8 hours, because they couldn't get out of it, because they were too inept to put the proper rules in place to get out of it if they didn't have the votes. And now we have an 800-page law that's going to be signed tomorrow, 900-page law that's going to be signed tomorrow with God knows what in it, because nobody fucking read it. And except for some people online.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to discuss a couple of the provisions here that are pretty striking, and I don't think it's being talked about enough. One that I haven't heard of until I looked it up is a 1% tax on remittances. Does anyone know what a remittance is?
I've heard the word, but I don't know.
So a remittance is, and let me get the whole term here, a non-commercial transfer of money to by a foreign worker, a member of a diaspora community, or a citizen with family ties abroad for household income in their home country or homeland.
Right. People would send money. That's where it would. People would send money to their family in like India or like somewhere in Africa or something like that, and it would be a remittance payment. So it's just like family support.
Yeah. So now we're taxing that.
That's what?
That's a tax now. It's a 1% tax on all money that immigrants send to their families at home in their home countries.
That's wow.
It's just theft.
But
now.
in global banking, it's going to be hard to do that, dude, because all you have to do is open up a bank account and give them a good bank card, and they'll just be able to withdraw funds if they want.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Still.
So we already know that this is phasing out all the clean energy credits, all the EV credits, and all that. But it's establishing a new tax credit. Does anyone want to take a guess at the industry that is receiving this tax credit?
Crypto.
Sounds
Holly?
right. Yeah, that sounds right. But Mikey's probably right on, honestly.
No. In fact, it is metallurgical coal. The coal industry is getting a 3% tax credit.
They need it.
They need it. This is a cooking coal. It's a grade of coal that is used to produce good quality coke. Coke is an essential fuel and reactant in the blast furnace process. So the coal industry and the steel industry are getting this tax credit.
Okay.
Do you
Let's
want
go backwards?
Do you want to know who else is getting a tax deduction?
Well,
It's
probably oil then. Yeah,
it's related to the state of Alaska.
that could be oil.
Yeah, oil.
Wrong again. It is whalers.
Oh,
What?
great.
What?
So in order to gain
they're
support,
they're so endangered. What?
They're not going to be in danger no more. They're going to be extinct.
They're going to be extinct. Yeah.
So in order to get Lisa Murkowski's vote in the Senate, the one vote that the Republicans needed, they gave a increased tax deduction for whaling captains and waived the exemption for planned snap cuts for Alaska and Hawaii.
Oh, so Alaska and Hawaii gets to keep their SNAP benefits.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, so okay.
Lisa Murkowski's vote was that specific provision.
I like how she was like, it's my state then.
Yeah. Yeah. She was like, oh, yeah, no, I'm out. I'm looking out for the people of Alaska. Everyone else,
Good luck.
suck dick. Good
Yeah,
luck.
Why didn't every Republican be smart and do that?
Because
No,
they're
no. Can we
stupid and
keep
they
snap
already
here?
agreed. And they're
Can
dumb
we
and they
keep snap
already
here?
agreed.
Yeah.
That might have been something they debated, but they just fucking signed rubber stamp,
Dumbass.
auto penned their way through this. So good for hey, this is what everybody wants. This is what we're going with.
Clap.
Yeah. Clap for the downfall.
Clap for the downfall.
Cheer.
Let's see. What's another fun one? Oh, increases taxes on investment income from college endowments. And it raises. It's supposed to raise like $1 billion over 10 years, but it's for colleges with more than 3,000 students.
Real quick, everybody on YouTube, go to Twitch, click that link, go sub to Gina, go follow, and then come back.
Love that guy.
Let's see. We got a few other fun ones here.
And go to her YouTube and do the same thing.
Yes.
Go over there, hit follow, subscribe, and then come on back. Thank you.
Tide goes in, tide goes out. You can't explain that.
Anyway, here's some more fun stuff in this law that was passed today. Cuts to Medicaid provider tax, which helps states fund their Medicaid costs. It cuts it by half, from 6% to 3.5% by 2031. So it's going to be slowly reduced, phased out over time. Adds work requirements to Medicaid recipients for the first time. Individuals between the ages of 19 and 64 will be required to work or job hunt or volunteer for 80 hours per month. Some exemptions would be offered for adults with dependent children ages 14 and under, and those with medical conditions. But if you're just poor, go out and get a job.
You know, if you're just poor, you're fucked.
Well, most of these people already have jobs.
Yeah.
But they don't get enough hours to get insurance, or they have like 3 part-time jobs, so they're not getting insurance from anybody, and they can't get full-time anywhere. So do they think the coal miners are going to have health insurance?
I don't know.
Is that what they think? They think the coal, like the mine owners, are going to be like, you know what, guys, I think it's time for me to like allow you guys to get some strength in your union and get some health care. They're not going to do that. Unions are on the chopping block. It is only a matter of time before they say unions are illegal.
Yeah. Better check the fine print on those fucking contracts, because I bet you the black lung's not covered on those contracts, right?
No, you already had that black lung before you started working here.
Here's another fun one. Requires SNAP beneficiaries ages 18 to 64 to work at least 80 hours per month, compared to the previous law, which was 18 to 54. So the seniors on SNAP, hey, go fuck yourself. How about that?
Yeah.
You need to work.
This
doesn't matter where.
Stone cold dead. We had a dead country.
And it's not even like they're putting mandates on work in certain industries. Like, it's not like there was like a municipal kind of tie-in where, hey, if you really need insurance or whatever and you can't find a job, then the city or the state has somewhere for you to sweep up, some administrative helping you can do. No looking into what people's talents and skills might be.
Yeah.
What's the unemployment right now?
4.1%. I mean, that's the reported unemployment. It's usually a few points higher.
But still, that's pretty fucking low, no?
Yeah, no, we're almost at full employment.
So who are you punishing?
I don't know.
So if everybody is fucking working, including the people who are undocumented, then who are you? The only people not working are the top 1%, and they're the ones just sitting around all day letting their money work. So what are y'all talking about? These are the hardworking people. Most hardworking people don't have insurance because they need that money to pay their bills.
Exactly.
Let's see. Here's some other fun stuff. Reduces Medicaid payments to states with errors and improper payments. Prohibits Medicaid from being used for Planned Parenthood.
Yeah.
What?
And and similar organizations.
Mm-hmm. All the clinics are going to shut down.
Yeah. Repeals the National Education and Obesity Prevention Program grant.
Oh boy, everybody's eating junk food again.
It's not going to matter anyway. There's not going to be any food to eat.
No, there ain't going to be any food to eat. Increases the share costs to administer the SNAP program for states from 50% to 75%. Good luck, everyone in a southern state.
Yeah, I think during Hakeem Jeffries' marathon speech, he was talking about like how New York is a donor state, and they don't mind being a donor state because they believe that everybody should eat.
Yeah.
Hey, all the donor states are no longer donor states, and y'all are going to see and feel in real time how much you needed from these crazy liberals and all that. Okay, you're going to figure out what life is like without us.
Yeah, they're
not respecting the business.
Let's see, what's another fun one? Pauses the rule issued under the the Biden administration to cancel student loans if schools engage in deceptive recruiting. You know, like
Say
a certain.
What was the first part?
The first part was Hold on. I lost it now. Deceptive recruiting. Here we go. Pauses a rule issued by the Biden administration to cancel student loans if schools engaged in deceptive recruiting, like a certain university from a certain president.
Pam Bondi took care of that. Threw it out.
Yeah.
Meritless.
Yeah.
So you're ready for the scam schools.
Yeah.
Oh, you thought you got a degree? Oh, actually, we're not accredited. So
that's right.
Tricked you.
Simply Secular Dave. Obesity prevention. Didn't the U.S. invent obesity?
Maybe.
You're pretty round and warm up there too, Canada. Chill out. Y'all ain't over here. Y'all ain't here bench pressing. You know.
Oh, I woke Boomer up.
Oh, he's gonna say,
"Come here, give me a hug, then. Come here, come here, come on."
Hey, if you wanted to, like, go to school and you can't afford it, guess what? Student loans are capped for students seeking professional degrees, such as medical school or law school, at $50,000 per year and a $200,000 lifetime limit. So if you wanted to go to medical school or law school, guess what? You're paying for most of that yourself, you fuck.
That's right.
They don't want doctors. They don't want lawyers.
They're not going to have hospitals.
They only want doctors to come from the rich and lawyers to come from the rich. That's all they want.
Professional degrees also include like fucking business majors and everyone that's not like STEM, like I guess if
lower class a chance to fucking make the same money that we're making.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Also, any student has now a lifetime limit of student loans at $257,000.
Yeah.
Any
so
student.
Once again, fucking the poor and making sure the rich are the only ones to get the best educations.
It also restructures income-based repayment programs for student loans. So if you have student loans already and you had an income-based program, you probably fucked there too. Good luck. Good luck, me.
Yeah.
Halves the funding for the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. We were talking about this earlier, Mikey. Well, their funding in half. They can't get rid of it, but they'll fucking shut it down.
Like, this is making me feel ill. The more and more it is. This is
requires a 5-year waiting period on green card holders before applying to Medicaid, and reduces retroactive Medicaid payments from 3 months to 1 month. It also limits the premium tax credit that an immigrant can get from the Affordable Care Act. And it goes on and on. First of all, this law is fucking over people who came to this country and have green cards.
Yeah.
And those are not
coming. Go ahead.
All right. Those people are not all just, like asylum seekers. That's professionals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's doctors and lawyers and engineers. They are not exempt from any of this.
This will be good for Canada.
Right. Canada's about to get all kinds of talented people coming.
They're all coming here instead.
Or the UK or any other English-speaking nation. That's for an easy transition. I'm willing to suffer the immersion in Japan.
Yeah. Here are all the fun things that the fucking Defense Department gets now. $29 billion for shipbuilding, $25 billion for that Golden Dome missile defense system.
Can you tell what those are up from previously when they had a previous?
These are in addition to. These are all in addition to the previous.
Yeah.
This is 150 billion extra in defense spending than the previous budget. So 29 billion of that is for shipbuilding, which who fucking needs ships? Who fucking needs ships?
They think that they're going to have a naval battle with China.
The last major naval engagement was fucking World War II.
That was yesterday, Tim.
The Battle of Midway. That was the peak of naval engagement.
That was not 80 years ago, Tim. That was yesterday.
When
were you ships?
He wants the Bismarck. That's what he wants.
Exactly.
$25 billion for the Golden Dome missile defense system,
which is stupid and would never work.
It would never work.
Yeah, and we're not giving you any money for that. Sorry, Trump. We're not.
$15 billion for nuclear deterrence.
We're not at nuclear threat except for with North Korea, because Trump called them Rocket Man and started to piss them off, and they got into a Twitter fight, and then they made up and started sending each other love letters.
$25 billion for munitions in general. We need to, keep the military industrial complex going. So, more bombs, more bullets. $12 billion for improving military operations in the Indo-Pacific region.
What?
Yeah, that'll go great.
Indo-Pacific?
And $16 billion.
Can I just turn in my ID?
Yeah, right. Can we just
here's my birth certificate. I don't want to be here anymore.
Can you just, who wants me?
I want a refund. I'm gonna take my fucking birth certificate back to the hospital. I'm like, one refund, please.
$16 billion for military innovation and artificial intelligence, including kamikaze drones, uncrewed aircraft systems, drone boats, and underwater drones.
We've already had that for a while.
Yeah, they just want to build more.
Simply Secular Dave in chat says, reading. Wait. How did the Defense Department get control over high school sports programs?
Yes.
You think you're gonna fucking China army these kids? You think that's gonna work? Yeah, as soon as they're done on their phone, they'll get right to it.
We also have they also gave $170 billion to national security and immigration enforcement.
Yeah, because their budgets are fucking cratered by now. They've burned through all their money.
Here's the breakdown of that. $45 billion to finally build the fucking wall.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Believe it when I see it.
Wow.
$45 billion over 4 years in order to add 100,000 new migrant detention beds. This would increase the ICE's budget for detentions by 400%. 400. What are they doing?
I don't know. You know what's crazy? Last year, or fucking 6 months ago, we didn't have to pay anything.
Right.
Now we're going to have to pay $450 billion over 4 years. So an extra $112.5 billion per year. And this is the same people that said Granny can't have Medicaid anymore.
Right.
I need to spend $150 billion on U.S. citizens that I'm accusing of being Mexican or Guatemalan or Honduran or whatever.
Or in a gang.
Yeah. How about the cops? That's a gang. You gonna lock them up?
Simply like I'm okay with if you spend $45 billion on the wall as long as it's on the northern border.
That one's too big.
I think Canada might end up doing that.
We might.
They got moose out there just keeping watch.
$30 billion to ICE specifically for hiring new agents, covering transportation and deportation costs. Their aim is to hire 10,000 new ICE agents.
You said transportation costs. Is that fucking base in Florida part of that then? Probably.
That's also, again, all of this is to cover up all of the fucking read through those, or can you put it up on screen?
Yeah, I'll put it up on screen. It's just a wiki page.
Because
all of your hands.
Thank you.
Make it big.
Control scroll.
Scroll.
Okay. So where were you at?
I'm here, right here. 29.9 billion to immigration, customs, and
highlight it. I can barely see your mouse. Just highlight that line. Where were you at? There you go. Okay, there you are. So that list, if you look at it again, that is what they have already spent.
Oh yeah.
And they are trying, this is stuff that they have already been doing, and now they are going to have to pay for it because all the contractors, all those flights, all of that moving of equipment around, all that stuff, this is on Trump's, I'll just do it on I'll pay him later. Well, this is the pay him later.
Yeah.
They had to shove it into the bill because this is to cover the cost of all the bullshit that they have done and all the shit that they want to do. Because like we said before, fucking Thirsty Gnome blew through her budget. Like her budget was supposed to go until September and she's out of money already.
Yeah. And also just for anyone who wants to talk about shit about like Wikipedia, you go and read the 900-page bill. This is just a summary of it. I'm not going to, just like Congress, I'm not going to read it. So someone summarized it for me on Wikipedia.
We'll do a marathon stream and we'll read the whole thing.
I think that's
members only. Members only.
I think that took 12 hours in the Senate when they forced a reading of the bill.
It's only 800 something pages. It'll be quick.
Here we go. 17.3 billion says to further militarize our police forces.
So that means the police are getting more tanks.
$10 billion to reimburse Homeland Security. Here you go, Mikey. This is what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Reimbursing Homeland Security for border security.
So she done spent $10 billion at least over what she was supposed to do.
Yeah, that she don't have.
That fucking Guantanamo Bay bullshit. That was not free. That was hundreds of millions of dollars what they did.
Yeah. About $8 billion for hiring border patrol agents and vehicles with the aim of hiring new $3,000 more border agents. So there you go. There's a lucrative field out there if you are a Nazi.
So wait a minute. So y'all going to spend $50 billion on the wall and then $8 billion or $7 billion for border technology. What the hell is the wall for then? If you got all these agents and cameras and drones and all, then why are you building the wall?
Well, people have to man the top of the wall. I think this is the kind of wall they're building here,
it's fucking.
So
there's no edge on the top. It's like a fucking
a turret kind of thing.
No. It's like a sheet of metal that's up in the air. No one can walk up there.
I'm saying that the $45 billion is to build a castle wall around the border.
No, they can't. Nah. They ain't gonna. This is a
with
waste of time.
Parapets and everything.
This is them. One person, more than one person being in charge of a project.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, since we don't have a wall, we'll put all these cameras up. And then I'll put the wall up and then I will need the camera. And then I'll put these and I'll put all these up. Like, it's so fucking scatterbrained and stupid.
So what are they
They already said deportations are at their lowest that there have ever been. Trust me, guy. You don't have to spend money on the border wall because nobody's going to want to fucking come here. We're going to be fucking broke. Don't nobody want to come here and fucking go to work. There's no money. There's not going to be any fucking businesses to work at.
Out of that 170 billion, 70.5 billion is on the border.
Yeah.
But there's
no. I forgot 17.3 billion. Sorry. More.
Yeah, for border enforcement for state and
Just
local.
for the border.
Yeah.
Okay. Not including the immigration enforcement, not including ICE. Yeah. Okay.
If only they would have put this money into building more courts so that people could get processed.
Well, Mikey,
we couldn't afford it.
If only they would put this money into feeding people.
3.3 billion is going to hiring immigration judges and staff.
So 2% of the 170 billion went towards judges.
Yeah.
There you go, guys.
Yeah, there you go.
Fucking called it. Nazis.
Judges and staff.
Which is the problem now. They have a 3.7 million caseload and 750 judges.
Yeah.
So that's why it's been taking people years to get their shit through. It's because there's literally not enough judges. The judges can only see so many people a day.
Well, Mikey, they have a solution for that too. They would establish $100 annual fee to apply for asylum. So if you apply for asylum, it costs you $100 every year. Now that's down from the White House's proposal of $1,000 every year to apply for asylum. However, there's a $550 fee to apply for employment authorization for asylum seekers and migrants in humanitarian parole and temporary protected status. So if you have temporary protective status, it's going to cost you $550 a year.
He already got rid of that. He's just going to.
If anyone else has it.
Why would you even want temporary protective status when he'll just get a burr up his ass and just get rid of it? And then you have to fucking, oh, sorry, I know you've been living here for fucking 5 years, but now you have to leave again because I don't like you now.
And
like,
it also
all the Haitians that they're literally going after the Haitian people.
Yeah.
When we brought them here.
Because we fucked over their country.
Well, we've been taking them in since the fucking earthquake. In 2010, we've been taking, like, that was the first like big wave of people coming in, is because Haiti was demolished. It was completely destroyed by natural disaster. And then they had a hurricane right after that. And that's why the gangs are in charge of everything. So now he's not only deporting those people back down there, but they are here from there because we said we would help.
Yeah. Well, fuck them, I guess. Says Congress and the president. There's also a $250 fee for non-immigrant visas. So,
but you could pay $5 million and be a citizen overnight.
Yeah, you could just get a gold card and
do
whatever the fuck you want, I guess. This is the playground of the rich. I already went over most of these. Although there are additional provisions here. It establishes a $50 billion rural hospital fund because those hospitals were all going to go out of business, up from $25 billion to support healthcare providers in rural areas. So that probably assuaged a few Republicans who are like, "Hey, you're fucking over my district." Another $23 billion for the Coast Guard, $12 billion for air traffic controllers, $10 billion for NASA, which includes a bunch of shit that I'm sure Elon Musk wants. Look at all that. Look at all this.
Read the individual. $10 million for NASA. This includes $700 million for a Mars telecommunications orbiter, $2.6 billion for the Lunar Gateway space station.
4.1 billion.
Fluff.
Yeah, this is all fluff.
These projects are nowhere near
2030 is like the earliest that they'll probably even be putting any of this into effect.
4.1 billion for the development of space rockets for Artemis 4 and Artemis 5. Hey, assholes, remember when everybody yelled at me because I said the Artemis project was a fucking hoax? And then you guys said, no, it's not. They're totally going. It's going to happen in 2 years. They still don't have a fucking rocket to get them there. Nope. I fucking told you. And everyone told me, oh, you're just being a negative Nancy. No, I read. So I know I understand orbital mechanics a little bit better than that common layman. There will be no mission back to the moon anytime soon. They haven't figured out how to get up there. And with this fucking administration, there's no way they're going to fund an actual way to do it. Like, build a Saturn V and stop fucking wasting all our money. $20 million for the Orion, $1.5 billion for the space station operations throughout 2030, $325 million to the U.S. deorbit vehicle.
I don't know what that is.
So are they making a vehicle to deorbit shit safely?
Maybe.
$1 billion for improvements at 5 NASA centers. $120 for Stennis, $250 million for Kennedy, $300 for Johnson, and $100 for Marshall, and $30 for McLeod. $85 million to transfer a space vehicle to a field center that is involved in the administration of commercial crew program aimed at moving space shuttle Discovery to the Johnson Space Center. So y'all want $85 million to move it?
Yeah, right. Didn't they have like a special Boeing jet to move those things? Cost $85 to fly that thing. $85 million just to fly the Boeing jet.
Yeah, just hook it onto the bottom like you did before.
Yeah. And then we got $40 million for the National Garden of American Heroes, established by Trump.
Yeah.
That's just money straight into his pocket.
Yeah. Raises reference prices under here. I'll highlight this one. Raises reference prices under the price loss coverage and agricultural risk coverage programs, resulting in a $54 billion in additional spending over 10 years for agriculture. It's price controls on agriculture.
They're going to need more than that.
increases spending on crop insurance programs by $6.3 billion over 10 years, and disaster relief programs at at the USDA by $2.9 billion at the same time frame.
They're getting rid of the USDA.
Well, not yet. Removes suppressors from the National Firearm Act regulation, hereby eliminating the current $200 tax levied on the manufacturer and transfer of those items. So suppressors are now cheaper.
Well, they're going to be available. They were illegal before. You couldn't have a suppressor as a civilian.
Well, guess what? You can now, because this is America, and we love guns.
Don't go into public in the large groups because there could be an assassin in the crowd spraying everybody down with a suppressed AK. So good luck trying to get away from it, because you'll have no idea where it's coming from. You'll just hear a bunch of clicking.
You'll see a bunch of people falling down and saying, "What happened to them?"
Yep.
And then you get hit.
Well, here's another fun one.
There's a reason why suppressors are illegal.
Repeals the de minimis entry privilege, which allows shipments of under $800 to enter the U.S. tariff-free.
No more Temu. No more Wish.
Yeah, no more Temu, no more Wish. Amazon's not going to have fun with that either.
Nope.
Yeah.
And
quality production property. The bill allows for 100% section 179 depreciation deduction for the adjusted basis of the property. Oh, that's Trump lying about his fucking properties.
Yeah, this
so
is
in there too. So now everybody can lie about what their fucking property's worth.
Yeah, that's for the real estate lobby.
Cool.
Here are the terrible things that they removed from this bill in the Senate.
But these were in and now are no longer in.
Okay. They were removed from the bill in the Senate because the parliamentarian either didn't like them or the senators didn't like them. So let's take a crackdown on the pandemic era employee retention tax credit. There was a lot of scamming going on with the employee retention tax credit, and it was originally in the bill. Now it's not, so people can continue scamming on that.
Yay.
There was an expansion of Pell Grants to cover workforce training programs. That's gone. Oh, here we go. Something that left. A ban on Medicaid from being used for gender-affirming care for adults and children, which wasn't a thing. The parliamentarian said, hey, you can't do that, so it got taken out.
That's not saving money.
That's not saving money.
That's policy that you're trying to sneak through.
Oh, here we go. $2 billion allocated for Pentagon military intelligence programs and $500 million allocated for missile development. Gone. Hey, they took something away from the Pentagon. Wow.
$2 billion out of $1 trillion. We'll take it.
Here we go.
Give that money to develop ice weapons.
This provision was removed, a policy that would have ended SNAP assistance for some households that are also eligible for other assistance. So they were going to put a provision in there that if you were eligible for other food assistance programs, you weren't going to get SNAP too. That's a bridge too far, apparently, to the House Republicans. But they took it out in the Senate because, I don't know, they're a little bit more reasonable. I don't think they are, but fuck. Man, how much more monstrous can you be?
Hey, they got to live here. I just hope they remember that. There's gonna be a lot. Like, can you imagine if the three of us passed this, right? And now we're done in Washington, D.C., and we go back home and we want to go out for a burger. The three of us. What do you think is going to happen to us? Well, no, you're going to be going over each other's houses, right? Because they,
Hey
guys, you guys want to meet me for a movie? Oh man, they're upset with us.
Here's the problem: the people that you're talking about, though, have private fucking Wendy's in their fucking backyard and private movie theaters, so they never have to go out into public.
Oh, they're gonna want to be in the public. They're gonna want to go to events. I mean, if they just wanted to have their own little island, then they don't need to do all this little shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a completely unnecessary step. They like to move around through the country above and better than everybody. They like to go to the VIP. They like to fly first class and do other. Do you think that you guys will have any sort of public, not even life, just do they think that they are going to be able to go out in public again?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because this is like, and again, I'm not prescribing violence, but I know damn well if I wrote off everybody's health care, everybody's future in one bill, I'm definitely not going to be whistling Dixie walking down Main Street.
Yeah.
You're going to get stuck. Someone's going to be upset about that. And again, what is their plan about how they are going to live their life now that this is passed?
I have no idea.
That's what they should have really considered that, because I have no idea how they think that they're going to have any sort of normal back in this country.
I mean, you take, for example, like fucking Senator Murkowski, who apparently got whalers a fucking tax break and gave them their SNAP benefits back in return for her vote. She already said that she's like, oh, you know, I didn't really like voting for the bill. And blah. She tried to mitigate all of that. And still she's getting backlash for it.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, I didn't really want to vote for it, but, you know, they gave me what I wanted for Alaska. And I know it's going to hurt people. And like, yeah, you fucked up.
This, like, all of them have something to answer for. I don't know where they think that they're going to hide from the people. The people will find you, dude. You can't just listen to Trump because you're scared of him and expect the people to be like, well, they were afraid of Trump. They don't give a damn about all that. They're going to say, march your ass back up in there and undo it. And when you have to explain to them that it cannot be undone, good luck.
Yeah.
Their reaction is your investment. You have signed yourself up for this life of permanent cloisterhood.
Yeah.
You are going to be hidden from the general public forever. You will never be able to be out in public. You will not. You ain't going to be able to hire a security guard because the security guard is going to have family that needs to eat. Everyone needs health care.
Every one of them is going to be fucking Ted Cruz getting booed at a baseball game.
Mm-hmm.
If they go out in public, they're going to get fucking booed by people.
They may not just get booed because this is healthcare we're talking about now. So when grandma dies, when grandma loses her medicine and then has a stroke in the house and everybody finds her a week later, okay. That resonates with people when you ring that bell, it resonates for a long time.
Well, you can't unring that bell.
Yep. And now and they are lining up to start ringing all sorts of bells. Good luck.
This is the toothpaste out of the tube. The Republicans have done the last thing that they really wanted to do, except for like get rid of Social Security, which I'm sure is next on the chopping block.
Yeah, they're trying to figure out how.
Yeah.
Do we have to keep calling them the Republican Party? Aren't they just basically the fascist party now?
Nazis, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. They're the party of
the red shirts.
Everyone else. Yeah, they're the red shirts. Literally, they're the red shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a parrot daughter. She sings.
I have a blind dog in the background. He's trying to figure out where he is. This is something they can't undo. And Mikey and I were talking about it in the other show. Even if 2026 Democrats got control of Congress and they had like a filibuster-proof majority in the Senate and they could do whatever they wanted, it's really hard to put this shit back together now.
Yeah.
It's really hard to restart some of these programs. It's going to be near impossible.
Can we just dream that actually happens in 26? What would be the first thing that they should do?
Medicaid, Medicare.
Yeah.
Right away.
Restore Medicaid right away.
Because at this point, let's say people were part of like a cancer trial.
Yeah.
Or if they need dialysis. You know what I mean? Like people can't wait a year and a half for us to get dialysis back on you know what I mean? Like people are going to be hurting, and that and SNAP. Or crime is going to be through the roof. They're just going to raid all the grocery stores because they are not going to not eat. Like fuck your laws.
And,
Laws are
and
supposed to protect the people, and if they don't, then the people are well within their rights to ignore them. If you break the social contract, you break the social contract.
yeah, and I think that's what I don't understand. Like if you're going to think about this social contract wise, like deep philosophy on what a constitution is and what it's supposed to mean and all this stuff and what we are as a country, they have broken the social contract.
Yep.
They have broken we all agree to like be a society and help each other and all that stuff. With all this, they're saying fuck everybody.
We're keeping everything.
We're keeping everything.
I fucking said this is a robbery. Am I still overreacting?
No.
They've taken everything. And you're gonna pay for it. And I'm still overreacting, huh? I told you that this is a robbery. They don't care about nothing except for making everything theirs. And which my follow-up question was, okay, let's say it's all yours. What are you going to do with it? They have no fucking idea. This is not sustainable for a fucking society of 350 million people.
It's not. What's the next step for them?
Right. Oh, we're going to now we've done all the hard work, Tim. Now we sit back and let the profits roll in.
Right.
From where?
From who?
No one even wants to fucking trade with us right now.
No, the next step is the Gestapo boys. They got to be able to control the people now. That's why they're putting all this money into ICE and stuff like that. They're going to put a fucking
they're going to be
armed
hungry
forces
too.
on the street, and that's how they're going to control people.
No, but I'm less likely to follow orders when I'm hungry. I'm more willing to be upset at the people who are making me hungry than just to be like, fine, I'll just like, because you know what I mean, like arm people in the street. Arm people in the street to tell us to do what?
No, just to stop you from doing stuff. And if you do stuff, then you're getting shot.
Well,
and yes, I realize you'll be shooting back.
I mean, they got to go down the street at some point. Again, 350. they got 10,000 ICE agents. There's 350 million of us.
And we have more guns than people.
Hold on, you guys are going at the same time. Go Ollie, and then Tim.
I was going to say that's just a drop, though. This is the beginning of it. It's like I quickly see them just like how many people are in your military right now?
It's just under 1 million.
Just under 1 million. So he's already twice now put military on the ground in the United States doing shit.
I mean, yeah, but
he's already there.
There's 1.2 guns per person in this country.
There are. I thought it was 1.37 myself, but yeah.
It might be 1.37. It might be more. There are more guns than people.
60 guns per person. I also looked it up.
So, but unfortunately, only the military actually has tanks.
Yeah, and they
will control that shit when it comes to small arms.
Remote godless flying machines. Like,
the drones are probably more of a threat than tanks. Bro, a tank takes 15 days to get to you. And they have to put it on a train.
Yeah.
And it takes a crew of like 15 people to keep that thing up. Yeah, you can't just take a tank deep into enemy territory. No. You will run out of gas and you will be fucked. And then
you use the drones to do your strikes. You use the tanks to protect your assets.
I mean, that's what happened to Russia at the beginning of the war with Ukraine, right? They got that column of tanks all the way to fucking Kiev, and then they couldn't keep them because they ran out of gas.
They had a whole line of tanks as sitting ducks, like Dash should be here, and he's like, oh god.
But I mean, to use them in defensive formations is very effective, right? Because people are going to be coming at them with small arms.
Hey,
can't
man,
hurt somebody in the tank.
I mean, you could. You just got to stop the treads from moving. You ever see Saving Private Ryan?
Holy, yeah, modern tanks. I don't know, man. I worked on and drove those things. I don't know, man. It's like fun. And I'm talking 4 years ago. What are they like now?
It's the same. It's the same tanks. They have not changed them tanks.
I don't know.
Just put a potato in the tailpipe, Ollie.
Okay. Yeah, potato in the tailpipe. Listen,
I'll sneak extra diesel into their engine and create a runaway diesel engine effect.
Tanks may be effective at like rural environments or whatever, like large fields. but in a urban center, you ain't gonna get that tank very far.
We never took the tanks into.
I
We never
haven't
took them into
once
Baghdad.
said-
You know.
I haven't once said send the tanks out. The tanks are so they can sit in their bunkers and be protected, dude.
Oh, I see. The tanks are
Right.
a defensive weapon in this case.
Defensive weapon. Yes,
Yeah.
you wouldn't use tanks for offense. You use your drone strikes and everything for offense. Tanks are purely defensive because all the civilians are armed with things that 99% of them can't hurt a tank.
We all hit the same spot.
So
we all charge it at the same time.
It'll be like, yo, if the world is over, can we rush Area 51 now?
yeah.
If the tanks are all over there, fuck it, we're gonna go get us an alien carcass.
To go back to my question though, if the miracle happens in 26 and they all get in, yes, Medicaid, Medicare, SNAP, those emergency things to save people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is impeach Trump on that list? Get him the fuck out
Right
of
after.
office.
Immediately.
I don't even know why. I don't even see the point of impeaching Trump. He's already been impeached twice. No one ever did anything about it.
Yeah,
But if you have an actual majority, you can win.
It is a useless process. You need 60 senators.
Well, that's what we're saying. If the miracle happens,
there's no way that's going to happen. In reality,
shut up, Tim. Shut up, Tim. He already started off saying, "Can we dream?" So
Okay.
you shut up with your reality right now.
This is 100% fiction. If we are 100%
in his dream,
yeah,
yes. Say you win 75%
I
of
would-
both the House and the Senate.
I would do it day fucking one. Day one, you
I'd
impeach
lock
the
him up.
motherfucker.
I'd lock him up. Because
Day
I'd
one-
lock him up, take
and
his social
arrest
media
him,
away,
and
lock him
arrest
up.
When you elect the new Speaker of the House, when the new Speaker of the House is elected, his first priority, I assume it's Hakeem Jeffries, is to impeach the President of the United States. However,
what about the Supreme Court?
Well, here's what I'm getting at. Even if you do that, and let's say you have all the votes in the House and the Senate to do this, the dude is fucking immune. He's immune from everything as long as he's president.
Tim, you can be impeached for anything.
Right, but the Supreme Court is just going to say, "Oh, well, impeachment's now a useless process because he's immune from everything. You can't impeach him."
That they said that was like during the course of his duties.
Right.
Him enriching himself is not part of his duties. The Trump coin is not one of his duties.
Nobody cares about the emoluments clause.
I'm talking about things to impeach him over that he has things that are just nakedly illegal.
Yeah, guess which
that is not in the pursuit of his duties. That is personal enrichment. So you can't say I started the Trump coin because America needed X. There is no X. That is straight up theft.
Guess which person presides over the Senate trial? The Chief Justice of the Supreme Court.
Okay.
The dude who said he's immune from everything.
He said he is immune from his official acts. Having your own Trump coin is straight up grift. Selling Bibles is grift. All of this extra money shit is grift. It's not part of his duties. That is something you can pull him up for. He wasn't taught. He never said when they gave him his fucking free pass to do everything. He's like, yeah, he can do everything within his official powers, and you guys can't stop him from doing that. Just grabbing money illegally is not part of it. Buying a gun when you're not supposed to because you're on fucking bail is not part of it.
That is a good one. But I'm saying that
Biden that shit.
The Supreme Court has broken the Constitution.
Oh yeah, and there's gonna be Supreme Court reform too.
Oh, for sure.
How do they do that? Can they do that?
Yeah,
yes.
they do that.
Yeah,
They
the
can
Congress can do that.
Yeah, the Congress can add justices. And like Landon said, and a few other people have said, a great number for the Supreme Court is 13. We have 13 judicial districts, and those Supreme Court justices could look over their own district and then come together a few times a year. That makes way more sense.
They used to do that in the beginning of the Supreme Court. It was called writing the districts or something like that. Like they would each take a turn in a district overseeing that district, and then when there were Supreme Court things to do, they did that. Like, they would go they would all cycle through the districts. Like they wouldn't have one district; they would all cycle through. And then when there's Supreme Court things to do, they did that. But that's a good idea because they are like so fucking isolated from what is actually going on Every single one of them is so fucking isolated from what is actually going on in the judiciary of this country. Because that fucking ruling they did on Trump's executive order, where they were like, we're not going to rule on the order. We're just going to say the other courts can't do anything.
Yeah.
The president's lawyers and the solicitor general were defeated in every other lower court on this issue. And the Supreme Court was just like, yeah, well, it's cool. We're fine with that. Like they're
need to go.
Yeah.
It's
Is there a way to
ridiculous.
fire the Supreme Court justices?
Yes, you can impeach them.
And if they have ethics rules given by Congress that manage the behavior of the Supreme Court justices, then you can, you're in violation, you're in violation, you're in violation, you're in violation. Do you have a reason why you're in violation? Okay, not good enough. See you later.
Yeah.
So it sounds like they just need to do a clean sweep and clean out both the president and at least half the Supreme Court.
I mean, I don't know how many of them are doing things that are actually illegal. It's Clarence Thomas for sure. Clarence Thomas is violating any sort of ethics code that there possibly could be.
Wasn't Alito flying the flag and shit? Wasn't that him?
Yeah, Alito too. Fuck that guy.
He said his wife was doing it, didn't he?
Yeah, but he fucking did it. He had a dispute with his neighbors, and he's an asshat. So, I mean, Amy Coney Barrett, Gorsuch,
his wife.
Yeah,
took
he did
him for it.
Yeah, she
That
threw
doesn't mean
him
that
under
she
the bus.
did. Yeah, that's what it feels like to me.
Like John Roberts, Amy Coney Barrett, Brett Kavanaugh, and Gorsuch. They're, as far as I know, they haven't done anything illegal. After investigations, who knows?
So, Ali, you work for a national government. Would you ever do something like overtly against probably the rules of your thing? Like Ali works in finance, so I don't think Ali's going to be out there like selling crypto and taking all of these gifts from people and doing all this stuff and then reporting back to his state job. Like there's rules on that stuff.
I sign a contract that says if I do shit like that my job's pretty much forfeit. Yeah. So yeah.
But they're like, well, nobody made us sign anything, so I'm gonna just let it rock right now. Like,
they all took an oath.
Yeah.
They all took an oath.
Just words, Tim.
I want to share some congressional reactions to the passing of the bill that I found. It's only like 2 minutes.
No sound.
No sound. You muted the sound. You muted the sound.
Oh, sorry. My bad. Chip Roy from Texas. This is. Fuck this guy.
At each stage, you take the win. Here at the end, the question was, what did the Senate do? I would have liked to have gotten more. Let's be clear. But it's a good bill overall in terms of what it does in tax spending, historic mandatory reductions, and importantly, the Green New Scam subsidy repeals that I think now the executive branch can make sure happen.
Well, I'm certainly very disappointed, and I'm exhausted. I'm not as exhausted as Hakeem Jeffries, but I think every one of us did all that we know how to do to stop this in the legislative process.
Yeah,
they have a majority. They won. They had the power and the presence of the president.
Pause it real quick.
The threats of primaries.
And this lily-livered bullshit is why you shouldn't be in fucking office, dude.
Yeah.
I guess we tried everything we could. Sure, I am tired.
You should shut the government down 2 months ago.
That's what we fucking said.
Yeah. They gave away all their leverage.
Shut it the fuck down before it gets really, really bad.
Well, that'll give Elon all the power to defund the government.
That's what they just fucking did, moron. Schumer gone. Jeffries gone. All of this leadership from the Democrats gone. Just go, dude. Leave on your own, or you're gonna get voted out in an embarrassing fashion, and you'll be you might as well put John Fetterman your shit, because nobody gives a we're about a month out, so we have to remember that we are very dialed in and tapped into the political climate.
Yeah.
Everybody else doesn't know what's happening yet.
Yeah. Like and subscribe and you'll know what's happening. Scott in the chat says, you've had months, literally months. And you're like, oh, we'll wait and see. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe they'll work with us. This is one of the takeaways that I heard. the Democrats have to finally give up the fucking notion that the Republicans are going to work with them on anything.
That's right.
Stop
Oh.
trying to work with these people.
We
They're-
will win. We will win.
They take policies hostage. They do whatever they can to suit their means, and they will bend or break the rules if they have to.
They're corner camper shotgunners. Like that's what they are.
They are fascists.
Yes. Way to go, Chucky.
They don't follow the rules. That is it.
They do not. They do not.
Dumb bitch.
Denying benefits in their district.
It's all gonna. It's everybody's gonna be okay. I can't stress enough how incredibly thankful I am.
This guy needs fucking two fingers in his eyes.
I think
Sorry.
this is one of the saddest days in modern American history. This is the largest.
Thank you.
This is the largest withdrawal and ending of healthcare in American history. 17 million people in our country, 17 million Americans in our country are going to lose their Medicaid.
They know the reputation of the Freedom Caucus. The reputation is we've been fighting for fiscal restraint for 10 years now, and we were not going to move off that dime.
But they
how's,
did.
how's 5.3 trillion extra sound? What's our debt? 36 trillion?
Yeah.
Slap another 5 on there. That'll
Yeah.
really help interest rates.
Yeah.
For all the fucking fiscal hawks in Congress who are like, oh, we need a mandated balanced budget. Where the fuck was that?
Not even. Yeah.
Nowhere to be found.
Nowhere to be found at all.
Let me get some coffee. Everyone keeps talking about fucking coffee in the chat. Now I want some goddamn coffee.
This amount of extra fucking debt going into your fucking overall debt. Now just the interest on your debt is going to become the biggest bill you guys have.
Yeah.
It was the second biggest before, right?
Yeah, it was Social
But now
Security
it's gonna
was
be
the biggest
bigger.
before. Yeah. Yep.
So
yeah, we're kind of fucks.
No, for the,
Well,
without
Trump
extremes, we
Trump
can't
has
do-
a history of not paying shit like that, so maybe he's just not going to pay the interest.
No, and yeah, what'll happen then? The other Canada and China will call in our fucking debts and be like, "Hey, where's the money?"
Last night, I was a hard no on this bill. These agreements are significant. It'll become obvious over the next few months how we've got the administration to move in a direction that mitigates a lot of the issues with the Senate bill.
So once you get into it, obviously it's a big deal. And you're going to only highlight certain things. But when people start getting kicked out of nursing homes and things like that, that's when you're going to feel it.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, that's how it's going to happen, right? Some of this stuff doesn't go into effect until after the midterm elections. They sort of put it that way. Some of the Medicaid stuff doesn't phase in until then, but some of it happens pretty immediately. Some of it happens in September when the government is supposed to start its new spending. So it's going to be pretty fucking apparent what's going on and when.
Wow. And when people start getting, like you said, kicked out of nursing homes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Grandma and grandpa that need their diapers changed every fucking hour are moving in with you. Right?
It's
That's
just-
what you pay that money for. That's what that money's paid for, is to pay for their care. So,
Right.
So without that money, you're going to be taking care of them. And what are you going to? What are you going to turn them out? You going to turn
Right.
your parents out? Is that what you're going to do? I would never fucking do that. Even if I couldn't fucking afford it, my parents would live with me if they had no other fucking place to go. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I mean, that's what any sensible person would do. But like, man, they're just making it harder for everyone else just so fucking billionaires can get a few extra dollars and can keep their wealth.
yeah. Like just the thought of that is it's almost bringing me to tears for people, dude. It's so bad. Anyway,
I'm already making it.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
dude. Maybe it's time to buckle down and finish my Delta Green stories.
they made it a while ago. It's called Twilight 2000. Have you ever tried that game? Holy fuck.
it's just, and the Republicans in that clip were like, "Don't worry, guys, it'll be fine. Everything's great. Everything will be cool. We're doing great."
There was a version of the game Risk where randomly natural disasters would hit a zone. A TTRPG of that would need that, like a chance card.
Yeah, yeah.
Your money keeps being worth nothing after like a while. It's like, oh, actually, you put money in crypto. You're actually not worth anything now.
Oh, suddenly there was a crypto market crash. Oh no!
Actually, I'm gonna need to take all the money out.
I'll
of your
just give me.
bank.
I'll just take. That's mine now.
Oh,
those go
and
back.
Just before that market crash, all the billionaires, guess what? They were tipped off and got rid of their stuff, right? They sold it all off. That way, when it crashed, they didn't lose nothing.
I mean, Trump's little tariff spat for like 2 months bankrupted several farms, and most of the crops had to be bought by the American government. And then that all that food went into USAID, and then people at least it got used. Now, when his fucking tariff shit piss off all the farmers, they're just gonna fucking bring in South Africans on a $5 million gold card, baby. Your farm is theirs now.
Yeah.
There is no, well, at least he's loyal to rural America.
No,
bitch, he's gonna literally replace all of you.
Yeah.
You guys don't even
that are loyal to him.
You're not even gonna have a fucking hospital.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna shut your hospitals and your old folks' homes.
Yeah.
And you think he's looking out for you? He's going to replace your lily white ass with a lily white South African who will listen to him.
A lily white South African of Nazi descent.
Well, I mean, the other thing here is that South African is decided that he didn't like the bill ultimately, and he threatened to primary every Republican with a new political party that he's going to establish. And that's, I mean, maybe, listen, I would love it if Elon sort of fucked with the system on the conservative side and started his own third party that only primaried Republicans.
Yeah, bleed their votes.
That would be nice.
Do it.
It would siphon enough support where conservative, like the MAGA people they wouldn't win general elections.
Ever.
Because
they'd always be at like 30. Yeah, they'd always be like 35, and then a loser.
Right. Yeah. Right. And I mean, it probably wouldn't be 35. It would probably be like, it would be enough. I think it would shave 10%. I think it would shave 10%. That's enough. And Elon has the money to do it because he's
talking about the Republican primary, not in like the general, but I'm saying like in the primary, like, the MAGA guy, the other guy, and then somebody else in third place. But then when they get to the general, they're just going to get whooped because all the support is fractured.
Yeah. If I was fucking Elon, and I had,
if you were what?
If I was Elon.
If you're doing a sound thing, we cannot hear it.
Oh, really? Oh, I muted it again.
Keep muting it.
Fettuccine, linguine, martini, bikini.
Love that guy.
Anyway, if I had Elon's money and I was going to fuck over the Republican Party, I would do it all. I would primary them, and then in the general election, I'd have a third party candidate running against them, just to make sure they were extra fucked. Because he's got the money to do it. He could just put a super PAC together with unlimited money in it and do whatever he wanted. And it's once again,
is he spiteful enough to carry through with that?
I don't know if he has the attention span, but he's definitely spiteful.
That's what I'm worried about, right? He could just get really, really stoned and completely forget about it.
He has dementia. He doesn't even know that this happened. He's like, there's no cuts in Medicaid. I told him not to do that.
Depends on where he is with his ketamine addiction, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about Elon. I was talking about Trump.
Oh, no. We were talking about Trump. He still thinks he's in 2016.
I was about to say, this motherfucker still be like, yo, Joseph Obama is always wrong.
Yeah.
And then there was Hillary Obama, and she tried it to.
Hillary Obama. And then there was Biden Obama.
Yeah. Hunter Obama.
Hunter Obama.
Harris Obama.
All the
Obamas. So yeah.
So here's what I will say. In conclusion, because I think I'm ready to be done with the show and I'm ready to play video games with you, Tim.
Okay. I have like
how I got left out of that.
One more short clip, but yes.
Well, you won't play Pal World with us.
Yeah, and you won't play Baldur's Gate with me.
Because it's boring, Ollie. It's boring. I have ADHD. That game is boring. I need to run around and do shit. I will fall asleep. I'll play with you. You're like, Mikey, the boss is coming. Mikey.
I don't need your help. I'll take the boss myself.
Solo leveling. Oh, solo leveling season 2, I think, is out, Tim. So we might have something else to do too.
They already put out another.
I think so.
Oh wow, that was quick.
Or it's coming soon.
Oh, okay.
I just saw a thing from Crunchyroll on it. I will investigate. But I will say this. Here's what I will be putting an effort towards going forward. Whether you are MAGA or not, you are going to need to listen to us on how to protect yourself from certain things about food preparation. Maybe you guys might need to start canning stuff. Like, this is not a joke. I'm not joking. I'm not being hyperbolic. We're going to have to feed ourselves. And
Great Depression ready.
Right. We're going to have to weather this, which means hunkering down and having your shit in order and being organized. Like, this is where we're at now. I've been like that since fucking November. And then everyone's like, oh, it's not going to be that bad. Still think I'm fucking overreacting? So
do you have a go bag? You should have a go bag.
Everybody should have a go bag. You need to get your passport, get all legal documents that you need now, because these places are going to start getting shuttered, and it's going to get harder and harder to get all of the stuff that you need. And so food and clean water and filtration systems, and I will be making an effort going forward to help you guys survive all of this, because that's kind of where we are right now. This is not gonna work. If they want to keep lying on TV, they can keep lying on TV. The Democrats are not blowing smoke. They didn't do enough according to us. And they're like, we did everything we can. Like, they're saying that, and they were wrong.
Yeah.
Like, they underestimated it.
Yeah.
We don't. I'm taking everything that they say 100% serious. What if it happens tomorrow? What if this starts the next day? What if that's the kind of mindset we have to be in now. These motherfuckers are not your friends. These are not, like, I'm sorry. I'm done going to MAGA shit. Like, if I have MAGA family members who want to have fucking suck my dick, you voted for the end of this country.
Yeah.
I don't fucking care. I'm not going.
Every person should really consider if they have friends or family members that are MAGA specifically, who they want in their lives, because those people are now actively destructive.
And they're going to be looking at you like, can't you help me? Go ahead and get that cold shoulder ready.
Yeah.
Because you ain't going to have enough to share. That's where we're at. You ain't even going to be able to help them. They're going to be on their own, just like you're going to be on your own. You can't help them if you're hungry.
And one of the things we do need to do is build communities, build organizations that can withstand this sort of stuff, and like be better at like communicating with just your neighbors and just form like, you know, local groups that can support each other, and or internet groups like this where you can support each other, because that's the kind of thing we need now. This national bullshit, it's done, man. It's fucking done. They've given up the social contract. They've given up the Constitution.
They said we don't need it.
They said we don't need it. National politics it's done. This is going to be about state and local governments and how well you can make your state and local government work. Because the federal government, it's in shambles.
Yeah.
It was in shambles before this. Yeah, it was in shambles before this bill, and it's going to be absolutely destroyed after this bill.
Yeah.
So, and unfortunately, between the Supreme Court and Congress and the president, there are now states where people have more rights than other states.
Yeah.
If you are an immigrant that is pregnant and you have your kid in Texas, that kid may not be a citizen of any country.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stateless people.
And if you're a woman and you need certain health care, you're not going to get it in some states. They fucking defunded Planned Parenthood through Medicaid.
Yep.
So good luck. And if you voted for this and you have the same problems, you might want to take a look at yourself.
Well, you're not going to be able to just, fucking text Ron DeSantis and be like, hey, can you clear this for me?
Yeah. All right. I'm almost done talking about this as well. I have one more short clip to show you all. You've seen it before, but it bears repeating.
Yeah, just close this out with this. We love you guys. Have a good night.
Oh, yeah. I can screen it. I'm going to full screen it. Fuck yeah.
Is the evident agreement to not add any revenues to the process of cutting. Not only is the impetus to make human budget sacrifices out of the poor and dependent formalized, but the rich and the corporations are thus indemnified again and given more money not merely to spend on themselves and their own luxuries, but more vitally, they are given more money to spend on buying politicians, buying legislatures, buying courts, buying entire states, all of which can be directed like so many weapons in the service of one cause and one cause alone, making by statute and ruling the further protection of the wealthy at the expense of everybody else, untouchable, inviolable, permanent. The White House today boasted of loopholes to be closed and tax breaks to be rescinded later by a committee that is yet to be formed. There are no new taxes except the stealth ones enacted on 99 out of 100 Americans by this evil transaction. Every dollar cut from the safety net is another dollar added to the citizen cost for education, for security, for health, for life.
Was that, Ali?
It is another dollar he can't spend on making a better life for himself, or at least his children. It is another dollar he must spend instead on simply keeping himself alive.
2011.
Where is the outrage over these great hypocrites?
This was after Citizens United.
You expect it to come from a corrupt and corrupted media for whom access is of greater importance than criticizing the failure of a political party or defending those who don't buy newspapers or can't leap website paywalls or could not afford cable TV? Do you expect it to come from a cynical and manipulative political structure? Do you expect it from those elected officials who no longer know anything of government or governance, but only perceive how to get elected or how to pose in front of a camera and pretend to be leaders? Do you expect it from politicians themselves who will merely calculate whether or not it's right based on whether or not it will get them more contributions? Do you expect it will come from the great middle ground of this country with a population obsessed with entertainment, video games, social media, sports, and trivia? Where is the outrage to come from? From you. It will do no good to wait for the politicians to suddenly atone for their sins. They're too busy trying to keep their jobs to do their jobs. It will do no good to wait for the media to suddenly remember its origins as the free press, the watchdog of democracy envisioned by Jefferson. They are too busy trying to get exclusive details about exactly how the bank robbers emptied the public's pockets to give a damn about telling anybody what they looked like or which way they went.
Yep.
It will do no good to wait for the apolitical public to get a clue. They can't hear the clue through all the chatter and scandal and diversion and delusion and illusion. The betrayal of what this nation is supposed to be about did not begin with this deal, and it surely will not end with this deal. There is a tide pushing back the rights of each of us, and it has been artificially induced by union bashing and the sowing of hatreds and fears, and now this ever more institutionalized economic battering of the average American. It will continue and it will crush us because those who created it are organized and unified and hell-bent And the only response is to be organized and unified and hell-bent in return. We must find again the energy and the purpose of the 1960s and early 1970s, and we must protest this deal and all the goddamn deals to come in the streets. We must rise non-violently but insistently. General strikes, boycotts, protests, sit-ins, non-cooperation, takeovers. But modern versions of that resistance, facilitated and amplified by a weapon our predecessors did not have, the glory that is instantaneous communication. It is from an old and almost cliched motion picture that the wisdom comes. First, you've got to get mad. I cannot say to you, meet here or there at this hour or that one, and we'll peacefully break the back of government that now exists merely to get its functionaries reelected. But I can say that the time is coming when the window for us to restore the control of our government to ourselves will close, and we had damn well better act before then. Because this deal is more than a tipping point in which the government goes from defending the safety net to gutting it. This is wrong. And while our government has now declared that it has given up the concept of right and wrong, you and I have not and will not do so.